Hallo, ich bin's, Robin, Deutschlehrer mit Core Languages, and today I'm at the Charleston Jail. That's right, the Charleston Jail. Let me go back and repeat the same sentence, but I'm going to change just one little word. Listen carefully and see if you can detect how the meaning of the sentence changed. I am at a Charleston jail. Notice how now it sounds like I'm at one of the many jails in Charleston, and this jail almost lost its significance a little bit. Well, this happens when we switch the definite article with the indefinite article, the and a. We use the definite article to refer to specific nouns, and we do the same in German. However, in German, there are multiple definite articles because nouns have genders. Der, die, and das. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use definite articles in German so you can incorporate them into your German sentences. So I would say, los geht's und viel Spaß beim Deutschlernen. The definite article. There are 3 genders in German, and each has its own definite article. There are masculine nouns which use the definite article der, feminine nouns which use the definite article die, and neutral nouns or neuter nouns that use the definite article das. The definite article is used to introduce or specify a noun, and a noun can be a person, place, thing, or object. Articles are placed before the noun. We would have der, die, or das, and then the noun. In a sentence, we would have the subject, the verb, and the predicate adjective. The subject would be a noun and its article. For example, das Buch ist neu. The book is new. Das Buch is a neutral noun, so it uses the definite article das. Articles vary by case. In German, there are 4 cases: the nominative, the accusative, the dative, and the genitive case. And the spelling of definite and indefinite articles changes depending on what case the noun is in. In the nominative, the singular noun articles are der, die, das. All plural nouns use the definite article die. Die is placed before the plural noun. Here is an example. Die Leute sind nett. The people are nice. Leute is by default a plural noun, so it uses the definite article die. Die Studenten sind nervös. The students are nervous. The noun Student is a masculine noun, der Student. Or die Studentin, the female student, which is a feminine noun. But students is a plural noun, so by default it uses the definite article die. Die Studenten sind nervös. It is important to understand when it is correct to use the definite article. We use the definite article to refer to specific things or things that were previously mentioned. For example, die Schuhe sind schmutzig. The shoes are dirty. In this example, we are referring to a specific pair of shoes. We also use the definite article to refer to a species or whole class. For example, der Löwe ist ein gefährliches Tier. The lion is a dangerous animal. We also use the definite article to talk about rivers, oceans, seas, islands, and mountains. For example, sie fliegen jedes Jahr in die Karibik. They fly every year to the Caribbean. We also use the definite article for public institutions, newspapers, or magazines. For example, Die Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung hat einen guten Ruf. The Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung has a good reputation. Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung is the name of the newspaper. We also use the definite article for count and non-count nouns. For example, das Wasser ist zu kalt. The water is too cold. Water is an uncountable noun. Here are some examples or Beispiele of sentences referring to nouns that belong to a whole species or class. For example, der Adler, the eagle. Der Adler ist ein deutsches Symbol. The eagle is a German symbol. Die Franzosen, the French. Die Franzosen trinken gerne Wein. The French like to drink wine. Die Rose, the rose. Die Rose ist ein Symbol der Liebe. The rose is a symbol of love. Here are some examples or Beispiele of sentences using nouns that are referring to bodies of water, islands, and mountains. For example, der Pazifik, the Pacific. Der Pazifik ist westlich von den USA. The Pacific is west of the USA. Die Azoren, the Azores. Die Azoren sind im Atlantik. The Azores are in the Atlantic. Die Alpen, the Alps. Die Alpen liegen in Europa. The Alps are or lie in Europe. Here are some Beispiele of sentences referring to public institutions, newspapers, and magazines. For example, die Süddeutsche Zeitung. Die Süddeutsche Zeitung ist eine angesehene Zeitung. Die Süddeutsche Zeitung, or the South German newspaper, is a well-respected newspaper. Der Spiegel. Der Spiegel ist ein wöchentliches Magazin. Der Spiegel is a weekly magazine. Das Pergamon-Museum. Das Pergamon-Museum hat das Ishtar-Tor aus Babylon in seiner Sammlung. The Pergamon Museum has the Ishtar Gate from Babylon in its collection. It is also important to understand when not to use the definite article. We do not use the definite article when referring to languages. For example, Spanisch ist eine schöne Sprache. Spanish is a beautiful language. We don't use the definite article for proper names. For example, Kalifornien ist ein beliebtes Reiseziel. California is a popular travel destination. We don't use the definite article when referring to things in general. For example, Kätzchen sind niedlich. Kittens are cute. We don't use the definite article for non-count nouns or uncountable nouns. For example, Kaffee ist beliebt in Deutschland. Coffee is popular in Germany. We don't use the definite article for locations, cities, and most countries. For example, ich wohne in Frankfurt. I live in Frankfurt. Or, fährst du nach Italien? Are you going to Italy? We don't use the definite article when referring to sports. For example, Fußball ist mein Lieblingssport. Soccer or football is my favorite sport. Let's practice. Üben. Look at the following two examples and try to determine whether the sentence needs a definite article or no article. Japaner essen Sushi. The Japanese eat sushi. We would say die Japaner essen Sushi. Sie lernt Italienisch zu Hause. She learns Italian at home. We don't use an article for this example. Sie lernt Italienisch zu Hause. And how about this Beispiel? Fußball ist ein Lieblingssport in Deutschland. Does this sentence need an article? Or would we say, der Fußball ist ein Lieblingssport in Deutschland? This sentence does not use an article. Fußball ist ein Lieblingssport. Soccer or football is a favorite sport in Germany. And how about this example? Essen ist lecker. Do we need a definite article, der, das, or die, or no article? Food is delicious, or food is yummy. We are referring to a specific dish or specific food, not all food in general, so we need the definite article. Essen is a neutral noun. Das Essen ist lecker. The food is yummy. Vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. I hope you now have a better understanding of how to use definite articles in German. As always, if you have more questions, feel free to comment, or if you're interested in joining one of our German courses with a live instructor, feel free to message us directly. Das war's. Vielen Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal.